You're watching Watchful News with your host, Tyrone Smith. Special guest, Artis Hinson. Body Ecology.
Hi, thanks for tuning in to the Watchful News. My name is Tyrone Smith. Today we have joining us Mr. Art Hinson. Art, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Tyrone.
For our listening audience, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm known as a cosmobiologist or a healing therapist also. So my specialty is that I create alternative therapies for all ailments to take the place of, say, pharmaceuticals if people choose not to use pharmaceuticals.
Okay, so you're more, what you might say, what we might call a naturopath.
Yes, practicing is one, yes, definitely. I have 35 years of practice.
Why do you think it's important for humans, individuals, to consider going the natural route as opposed to synthetic medicines and certain types of chemicals that we have a tendency to put into our body?
Because the natural medicines do not have harmful side effects. And also, my therapies are based on essential oils, which are herbal concentrates. And they have been known as official medicine for 4,000 years, even in the textbooks that the medical professionals used up until the 1960s. So they're tried and proven over time, where new chemicals come out every day.
It seems like there's more and more illnesses that we're having. Do you think it's because the body's out of balance?
Sure, the body's out of balance. You know, the body is electrical. Originally, everyone ate electric food. That was what religion taught humanity, to live in nature, to live with nature, and to honor nature as the healer, the activator, and the therapist within. But yet we got out of balance when we tried to move into new influences in life.
So what would you suggest an individual to do? Say, for example, if they have an ailment, do you think it's something that can be reversed?
All ailments can be reversed. There's no such thing as incurables. Anything that grows in the body can grow out of the body. But the problem is that when people discover that there is a problem, they try to get rid of it all at once. And that puts a strain on the body. But when you deal with the rhythms of nature and everything in existence exists as a vibration or exists as a rhythm, when you deal with it and grow it out of the body the way you grew it into the body, then you can heal all ailments.
So it's a process that actually took place.
Of course. Say, for example, cancer. When cancer is detected in the body, then the cancer has manifested in the body for more than 20 years. It takes billions of cancer cells to detect cancer in the body, but yet all cooked food is carcinogenic. In other words, all cooked food is cancer-forming and cancer-causing.
That's one thing I always wondered about, especially like a lot of times if a person's diagnosed with, say, a disease like cancer.
Sure.
You know, the doctor might cut off the breast or they may cut off another type of limb. But I always thought if it's been traveling through your body for a number of years, it seems like it probably is highly intelligent, so if it knows and then just relocate to another part of the body. Does that make sense?
Well, yes, but it's intelligent. See, one thing, herbal medicine is intelligent. Live food is intelligent. A live body is intelligent. Wherever there is life, there is intelligence. But when you start dealing with chemicals, they're not intelligent. So they are what you call mechanical, and they either move one way or the other. So if you take a chemical that, say, activates a certain energy in the body, then you've got to use another chemical to defray that activity or to modulate that activity. And that's the reason people are on so many chemical medicines when they start off with one. But then the live medicine and the live food, which also is medicine, it was said by Imhotep, the great Egyptian, and Hippocrates, that let thy food be thy medicine. The medicine goes either way to modulate the electric energy in the body.
When you speak of live food, what do you mean?
Food that has not been killed by fire. If it is held in a temperature of over 125 degrees, then the enzymes in the food die, and the enzymes are morsels of electric energy. It is what we live on. You cannot even run a car. You cannot spark gasoline. You cannot spark anything without electric energy. So the spark of life in the body is electrical, and when we eat cooked food, then what we're doing is eating electrical resistance. And eventually, if you continue to put death in your body, even in small ways every day, the death will build up and overcome your life.
What would be classified as death foods?
Dead flesh is the worst. Dead vegetables are even bad. They will not be as obstructive as dead vegetables, but they are, as dead flesh, but they are obstructive. And of course, the biggest glue maker is the one that sells milk and cheese and butter, Borden Company. They make Elmer's glue. When the cows don't give milk anymore, then they cook the cow and turn him into glue. So what happens when you eat cooked cow?
Never thought about that. I have a question. I read in the paper a lot of times they talk about vegetables, what's the difference between maybe vegetables that they sell at the grocery store versus organic?
Well, organic vegetables have possibly at least 40 to 50% more vitality, but many times they're unaffordable. They're almost unaffordable to me also. So I suggest that people eat life rather than trying to get the top of the crop of the food chain, because when you have a family to feed, or when you have numerous mouths to feed, it's kind of hard to pay double for the price of vegetable. But if you just eat live vegetable, then you're getting double the vitality anyway that you're getting when you eat cooked food.
I'm going to share with you something interesting. For Christmas, I got a juicer.
A juicer is very important.
And I can just tell a difference, with my energy levels, just because right now, the juices that I put in my body now, I just do naturally.
Yeah.
But I can tell a major difference in just, like I said, the energy that I have.
There's a gentleman named N.W. Walker that wrote a book on colon cleansing, on water, on juicing, and on salad preparations. And if you look up in the back of let juices be thy medicine, I believe, fresh vegetable juices. He lists numerous ailments and numerous juices to counteract those ailments. But just about in all of the ailments in the book, carrot and spinach juice is the antidote for the problem. So if you do a pound of spinach and 4 pounds of carrot, that is the formula that will heal practically anything that's manifest in the body. And like I said before, if it grows in the body, it can grow out. Doctors and medical professionals are very good for trauma and accident and breaks in tissue in the body. But they don't really know that much about growing energy.
So do you think it's important for us to look at life from a holistic perspective? Spiritual, physical, mental, as a unit?
Yeah, definitely it is. Everything is vibrational. Everything comes activated in white light, which can be broken up with a prism into a spectrum of 7 different colors. So everyone born on Earth is born in one of those 7 dominant energies, and all foods are in one of those 7 dominant energies. As before, they are colors, they're spectrums of the rainbow, and each one heals and manifests a certain type of creativity and a certain vital energy within the body.
If someone is watching the show, if they wanted to ascertain more information about some of the things that you're talking about, what books would you suggest?
I suggest Vibrational Medicine by Richard Gerber. He's an MD. I suggest Let Foods Be Thy Medicine. About 12 or 15 concerned doctors authored this book. It's a very good outline, and one of the main things that I show people when they come in my store is about the protein myth. Extra protein in the diet causes osteoporosis, kidney damage, and tissue failure. It also gets rid of calcium. So, well, that's the cause of osteoporosis.
Every day, I guess the body should have certain vitamins, minerals, and nutrients in the body. How can a person, is there like a list of like different nutrients that's essential to the human body?
Well, there again, as I mentioned, color and vibration. If you deal with live food, you're going to get the correct color, you're going to get the correct vibration. So when you speak of minerals and vitamins and so forth, you're speaking of it as if it's like a fixed energy, but energy moves. So what they call vitamins and minerals are salts that have been measured once the life has been taken out of them, but while the life is in them, what you need is the electric fire from that live energy. You don't really need the dead body of it. So all you need to do is just eat life. Whatever you choose, sunflower seeds, dates, nuts that have not been cooked, all forms of greens. Make sure you get a good variety of color in your diet.
Yeah, that's my point. There's so many different types of vegetables. You have
Yes.
so many different types of nuts, fruits.
Yes.
So how can one decide what they're going to take every day?
One's own vital system that he brought to the earth will decide. In other words, through your desire. But then if you desire to cook it, you've gone negative.
Okay.
And that's how you obstruct the body. And I might mention also that obstructions in the body have grown as much as 60 pounds in Elvis Presley and also John Wayne when both of them died. So a book by Dr. Bernard Jensen, Better Bowel Care, states that accumulation can be as much as hard as truck tire rubber and as old as from 2 to whatever age you are. The obstructions in the body are that old.
This information is some really good stuff, but if someone that's watching that's not really accustomed to this type of knowledge, what would you suggest a beginner's book for them to start reviewing?
Arnold Ehret's Mucusless Diet Healing System. I was looking to see if I could come up with that one real quick, but I don't see it. But that book cost $4.95, and it lists the obstructions in the Bible, and in the body, and it talks about fasting and so forth. And another, the practice of the Sabbath day. That day was set aside for fasting and prayer.
Wow.
The literal statement in the Bible is go to your closet and fast and pray.
Wow. So Art, if someone wanted to get in contact with you, how may you be reached?
My number is 273-7406. I'm in Southeast Greensboro. I'm listed in the phone book. My internet address is Body Ecol, of course, www.bodyecol.net. You will find all the vital information on there, and you will see a copy of the new book that I just authored, From Dogma to Light. Within that book, I gleaned about 3,500 volumes of lore in my library, and just came up with the synthesis over the past 30 years of study.
Wow. Mr. Hinson, how long have you been studying this type of work?
I've been studying it basically since I graduated from college in 1967, so I guess what is that, 41 years.
Where did you go to school?
Howard University.
Howard University.
Yes.
So you mean all these different diseases that we have, you mean to say there's a reversible cure for them?
If one continued the commandments of eating life, thou shalt not kill, if they took that literally, then there would be no disease. All diseases are accumulation of ash within the body.
Wow.
And when you allow that accumulation to go from generation to generation, it causes debility from generation to generation. There was a study known as Pottinger's cats, where they took 900 cats over 5 generations and tested them on different types of food, and they found that they came up with the same ailments that humans do. Even they did a study with mice, and they found out that the mice started destroying the compound that they were living in and eating one another's family and their children when they started eating cooked food. They became pernicious and detrimental to one another. So all of the mental deficiencies and complexes that we have from birth now is a result of eating cooked food. Even pain and menstrual activity is a result of eating cooked food. Women were not meant to bleed.
Wow. What do you think is possible for us to reverse the age process?
Of course, definitely. Just eat life.
Just eat life. You all heard it from
a man named Li Chen-yun that was born in China in the 1600s, and he died in 1933. There was also a brother, he wasn't even a vegetarian, Charlie Smith. He was born in Florida. No, he was born in Africa. He came to Florida as a slave, but he died in 1979 at about 149. He was a fruit picker.
All right, what made you start wanting to study this type of work?
I started off studying religion because when Cain slew Abel and no one could tell me who Cain went out and married, being that they were supposed to be the only two brothers on earth at the time, you know, I figured there was fallacy. So from a child I was interested and studied, and as I went through college and graduated, then it liberated me to study on my own. Like I said, I've collected some 3,000 volumes of works in my own personal library that deal with religion, philosophy, astrology, which can also be termed cosmobiology, essential healing techniques. And I just utilize them as people come to me. And I get the feedback from people. I have numerous written testimonials of people that have helped arrest cancer within themselves, that they have arrested diabetes, that they have arrested pain. Women have arrested menstrual dysfunction, uterine fibroids, headaches. I've worked on people's children too when they desire it.
What about stress?
Yeah, we have a whole book that deals with mental complexes. We have a book that deals with negative complexes and positive desires. So we can blend those through the use of essential oils. And they can be used orally as well as topically. Either way, they will go into the bloodstream.
Wow. Yeah, I was reading an article a couple of years ago, and it was talking about how essential oils were the first form of medicine and how it penetrates through your pores and enter into your bloodstream.
Right. A book written by Jean Valnet, The Practice of Aromatherapy. He was a French doctor, and during the war relief, he was responsible for healing a number of people that were injured on the battlefield. And when he ran out of the allopathic chemical medicine, then he started using essential oils. And he found out that the healing energy of the essential oils was better by far than the allopathic medicine. So then he started to research it, and he went back to the old ways and wrote a whole book on it.
I mean, if we have all these different types of healing techniques that's been around probably since the beginning of time, why do you think people don't use them?
They were suppressed by the Rockefeller Foundation just for money. Just like allopathic medicine came into being, and it became just one dominant medicine because the Rockefellers squashed all the other medical healing modalities. So they set up schools under the Chase Manhattan Bank to fund medical education. And so when you perniciously feed one energy and try to obstruct the other through what can I say, negative propaganda, then you come up with one dominant system. And it's basically drug companies, insurance companies, and medical doctors that whose medicine that they prescribe comes from chemical companies, drug chemical houses. These drug chemical houses were funded straight through World War II, and companies like Bayer and other companies in Germany were not even bombed during the carpet bombing of World War II.
Okay, so that this show can be kind of neutral, I want to kind of be neutral with this.
Sure.
Let's take a lot of the different companies that have testimonies where individuals that had unconventional treatment where they were actually healed from taking maybe prescribed medicines or chemotherapy. There are some successful testimonies relating to that. So,
if you have an active immune system, then you can overcome the negativity of using drugs. See, drugs do what is known as a stop action in the body. They decrease the destructive activity of the problematic situation to the point that it is no longer affecting our mind. And when the mind is free from the debilitating energy, then the mind heals the body.
So it's all mental?
It's basically mental, yeah.
Pretty much like the placebo?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is relevant?
Yes.
So what would you suggest to a person that's been taking medicines? You know, I know a lot of medicines has all these different types of side effects, and financially they might not have, you know, the resources to continue to take the medicine. What would you suggest to a person?
Well, when you look at people buying sodas and liquor and drugs and going out to dinner and so forth, you know, people have disposable income. So they have to decide what is important in their lives. So the insurance companies support only the drug industry. If you want to heal yourself, just like you're responsible for buying your food and so forth, socialized food is not so good as food that you purchase yourself. The same thing, socialized medicine is not so good, socialized education is not so good. So you have to decide what you want for yourself. Seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you.
Is there anything else you would like to share with our audience before we
yeah, the importance of vital water also. The dead water running through the pipes and so forth that people use. That water does not feed the cells correctly and so forth. Cooked food and water that is not vital or water that is not electrically active never goes into the cells. See, the body heals itself through osmosis. The body feeds itself through osmosis. What happens is the blood flows through the body, taking good energy all over the body. And then there's a membrane that this energy has to pass through. It's called a semi-permeable membrane. If the membrane is corroded in the basement capillaries, then the membrane is stopped up. So the live food creates a semi-permeable membrane where energy passes both to and fro, from side to side. Vitality goes in one side, and obstructive energy or the energy that the body gets rid of, which would be, well, it's like arteries carry nutrients and veins carry debris away from the body. So what I'm saying is that you have to have that semi-permeable membrane active in the body in order for healing to manifest.
Oh, okay.
And you can only do that with electric energy. You can only do that with live foods. Surely you must decide how much cooked food you can eat, but basically if you eat cooked food, you should eat it as dessert only.
Okay. Now this water, how are you able to get the minerals back into it?
Well, water exists in 17 different electrical molecular arrangements. So what we do is filter the water and we vitally activate the water. And it just becomes more permeable through the cellular structure, through its activation.
A couple of years ago, Art made a cologne for me that was based upon the time that I was born. Could you elaborate on that knowledge with our audience?
Yeah, and you liked it so much until you asked me to make one for you again.
Sure did.
So, this particular one is yours and the other one's for your partner.
Okay.
But what I do is take the vibrational energy that I do whenever I create a medicine or create a potion for a person. I take the vibrational energy by looking up his birthday and looking up where the planets were at the time of his birth. And I take the plants that are congruent with the planets at that particular time and put them together.
Is that tied in with astrology?
Plants and planets, yes, they are.
What's the importance of having a basic understanding of the way the, all of this works?
Well, the importance is it keeps us in relationship with our natural selves. You see, we came to this planet as co-creators. We're supposed to activate ourselves as gods. So we're supposed to deal with the energy that flows to us and manifest light and allow the light to flow from us in creative, evolutionary, loving activity. But when we kill before we put energy into our body, that's no longer love. That's murder. And then we murder the cells, and the cells become jagged. And that's the reason people have mucus in their body all the time, because the jagged cells create an energy in the body that is necessary. It's called histamine. It's pretty much like oil. So the jagged cells from the cooked food gets lubricated by the histamine. And then eventually the histamine becomes too much and it causes congestion.
I'm trying to keep up with you, Art, but this is some heavy stuff. I have another question for you. I mean, on television, we have so much violence. We have all this crime. We got drugs. We got killing. What would you say the solution is? Killing. Solution is?
Well, there's another gentleman that wrote a book called Let Foods Be Thy Medicine. It's by Alice Jack. And he has statistical graphs in this book that shows that the countries that eat the most dead flesh and the most cooked food are the ones that go to war the most. He also shows that there's less recidivism for people that go into prison if they choose live food diet while they're in prison. That That more creative, activating prison population. They've tried this in Maryland prisons and in California prisons. So the violence is caused by the violent food. When you kill an animal, you cause an adrenaline rush in the animal, and cooking that animal doesn't get the adrenaline out of them. So it causes an adrenaline rush of fight or flight within us.
So I guess the flesh that you eat it and it becomes a part of your flesh?
Yes, it does, definitely.
But the spirit doesn't leave the animal when it dies?
No. There's a vibrational spirit, there's an electrical energy in it. The matter starts to separate within itself. We go all the way back to clay, from whence we came, or minerals.
Any closing remarks?
Yes, let food be thy medicine, and know that electric energy is the spark of life, and that we were always meant to eat life. All the world's great books state that.
Well, Art, I'd like to thank you for being on the Watchful News. This is definitely a heavy show, so we're definitely going to have to finish this discussion by doing another show. But thank you so much for being on the Watchful News.
All right. Everything that is a part of that particular matter, no matter how much you separate it and so forth, there are still vital atomic structures, even within that separation and dismemberment.
What about when a person dies?
When a person dies, there's still vital energy even in his dismemberment. First the breath leaves, then the heat leaves, then the